Everyone. I made some buys this week and I wanted to go over those here real briefly. So, I think in total I bought 6 different stocks. Yeah, I bought Visa, schd, Republic Services, Google, Plexus, and Amazon. I spent, well, I should say I spent, but I invested a total of almost $1,400, $1,398.59 to be exact. 599 which, $599.30 of which comes from my individual account in these 5 stocks. You know, just buying some, not almost buying a full share of our Republic Services. The rest just buying some partial shares with the money I invested. And then almost $800 for my Roth IRA between these four. And yeah, so far, I do want to show kind of how I'm doing on those stocks overall, because some like SCHD, Republic Services, Visa, I do hold in multiple accounts. So this table is my way of getting an overall view. Sorry, something's in my eye. Getting an overall view of how I'm doing on those investments. So Amazon, I only hold in my individual. Amazon has had a little bit of a run up in the last couple of months. This year they were kind of down bad a little bit, you could say. So I bought some, and then they saw a nice price increase. So that turned my ROI from red into the green. Google, I hold in multiple accounts. But overall, you can see right now I'm up 100 and almost 3% with almost $5,000 in gains. It's one of those things where, should I sell at, at least my long-term holding, or my long-term stocks that I hold of Google? Should I sell some of those, try to capture some gains? Should I just keep invested? Because I don't know. Part of me is like, I'm not. I don't think Google is gonna suddenly drop in price and become bankrupt, and not exist anymore. I think Google is going to be around in the long term. There's just that. There's just that little part of me that wants to, wants to grab and capture those gains before I potentially lose it, in the immediate term. So I am right now. I am fighting that urge to sell Google. As for Plexus, I only hold it in my individual. I would just say, at least so far at this moment in time, when I first bought Plexus, I bought it at a good. I timed it well, I'll say. Um, but it's, I only first started buying it. It was either February or March this year, 2026. So who knows what the future holds for the company? They might hit a rough patch here in the next year or so, and but for now, performing well with it. Republic Services, they are a stock. They're a holding, I should say, that I have in my individual and my Roth IRA. Right now, I am a little bit negative on it. But I think I've said this, well, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I'm confident that trash is going to be around for a while. Public Services operates in my area. as well as other parts of the US. At the time, I think I liked their financials better than Waste Management. And so far, I'm just sticking with them. I'd be curious to compare and see how Waste Management, though, has done in the time that I've owned Republic Services. Maybe I ultimately did pick the wrong stock, but we'll find out. schd, I hold in 3 accounts. So again, this table is really nice to see what my total return on investment is with the holding right now, 11%. schd has gained quite a lot this year. So I'd be curious to see what my ROI would have been without the increase in schd's value over this year. But so far I'm doing well. It's definitely my highest paying stock that I hold. As you can see here, earning almost $1,550 a year. And then finally, Visa. I hold in my individual and my brokerage. Visa's been kind of, they haven't performed as well as I was expecting, but similar to Republic Services and Google, well, and a few other of my stocks, Visa is going to be around for a while. So this is definitely one of those holdings where it's like, all right, you just, well, at least at this moment in time with their financials, just keep buying, considering how their stock price has remained, I'll say relatively flat. I feel like Visa is still a good opportunity to be buying them right now. And yeah, what I wanted to do, and I forgot. I could do this right now. Is add nope, what are you doing there, Owen? A percentage of portfolio. I have this on my other sheet, but it's nice to have it'll be nice to have it here as well. Current value. Just so I can show you, the viewer, since I'm showing you this spreadsheet, what the current percentage is. And I'll deal with the formatting stuff later. So as you can see for these stocks, Google's almost 5%. Amazon is not quite 2%. Plex is tied with Amazon, RSG, Republic Services 2%. schd is almost 25%. And Visa is a little over, well, basically 2.5%. So I'm curious if, well, it's one of those things where, do I have a good amount of holdings? Some people that I've listened to on YouTube, they talk about over diversification, or some people are over, they have too many stocks or ETFs, and that kind of limits the amount of gains that they're getting. But I don't necessarily want to be overly concentrated in 1 or 2 stocks. And that's where some people might say, well, just stick with ETFs and call it good. True, I could do that. But there's just some stocks that I do want to hold individually. So I don't know. It's one of those things where, at least with Google, do I want it? I don't know if I necessarily want it to become a higher percentage of my portfolio, especially considering it is in. I'm fairly certain Google is in VGT and VOO. I don't know exactly all the stocks that are in those ETFs off the top of my head. I would be shocked if Google is not in them, but I'm pretty sure it is. So consider Google in that too. My concentration is actually even greater. So I don't know. Do I hold off on buying more Google? Do I keep going? And then some people might, are of the opinion that for your lower stocks, like let's say here CVX, should I even have that holding with its low, it makes up a low percentage of my portfolio. Should I even have it? Should I just put that money elsewhere? I don't know. Something to think about. But I've rambled on long enough. If you've watched this long, appreciate it. Let me know if you made any buys this week. I think I said this, but if not, I'll repeat myself. These buys for those 6 stocks, I did make those on Thursday, May 14th, 2026. And what I need to do is get some money contributed to my Roth. And, just depending on how the stock market goes over the next few days, might make some more buys, might just hold off and build up my cash reserve again. We'll just see what happens. So hope you're doing well. Talk to you later.